Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to my today's online lecture. I am here Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agriculture Studies, Milestone College, Uttara, Dhaka.
Chapter 4, Section 3. The section name is Sapling Transplantation and Afforestation. In this section, we can able to know that different steps of sapling forest plant plantation, and then some important topics, which is pruning, training and dressing of trees. The steps of transplanting a forest saplings with necessary illustration are following, which is site selection, preparation of peat, application of fertilizer in the peat, selection of healthy saplings, preparatory activities of uprooting saplings, planting the saplings, and intercultural operation. In intercultural operation, we will talk about stocking the saplings, providing irrigation, provide fence, provide shade, and mulching. This type of point, and all are in scientific way. First one is site selection. Before you transplanting a seedlings or saplings for afforestation, we have to select the site. Like this, have a look. This one is very sunny and well drained, little bit high and medium highland, and make sure the irrigation facilities should be here, and then make sure no flood water and waterlogged condition will not be available here, and the site must be south and eastern side of the homestead area if that is in homestead area, and if that is not homestead area, uh, that will be not mandatory, and the site must be enjoy sufficient sunlight. That means ensure proper sunlight and ventilation or aeration, and the site should be well aerated place as well. And the other thing is, make sure the site is protected by livestock, buffalo, cow, and other things. This is the first steps of sapling or seedling transplanting and for afforestation. Next point is preparation of peat. That means preparation. Before we preparing any peat, we have to know the size of a peat. If there is any large size is large trees, that time the size of the peat is 90 centimeter into 90 centimeter into 90 centimeter. That means depth, length and width should be same. If that plant or tree is medium, peat size will be 70 centimeter into 7 centimeter into 70 centimeter. And if the tree is small in size, then the size will be 50 centimeter, 50 centimeter and 50 centimeter. So before we prepare any peat for seedlings or sapling, we have to know this size. According to this size, we have to prepare the seeds. And have a look. This is the picture where you can observe that dig the soil. That means topsoil we have to leave one side, and the bottom soil we have to leave another side. That means if that peat size is 50 centimeter, then top 25 centimeter soil leave one side, and the bottom 25 centimeter soil leave another side. In here the color picture as well, you can observe some soil is left side and some soil is right hand side. And then remember that before transplanting the seed, we have to dig the pit about 10 to 15 days before, and then make sure underneath the pit about 5 to 6 centimeter soil should be friable or loosened. you have to ensure that soil. And then before 10 to 15 days of transplanting, we have to mix the fertilizer with the soil. And always remember that the top soil well, got more fertile because all type of nutrient present in the topsoil, and less about in the less nutrient present in the bottom soil, because the topsoil on the top side and get more sunlight and air. That is why when you transplanting the plant, that time first put the topsoil underneath and top side bottom soil on the top. You have to remember that one. Next point is apply the fertilizer in the pit. This is the fertilizer which is organic fertilizer, ash, urea, TSP, muriate of potash, and this is the size of the pit, and this is the quantity of the fertilizer, and different type of quantity for different type of pit. And before or we apply the fertilizer about 10 to 15 days before the planting the seedlings. uh, Mix all the fertilizer except urea with the soil, and then and put on the pit, and the urea soil should be applied after 2 to 3 days of transplanting the seedlings. If we apply urea fertilizer when we planting the seedlings, then the seedlings may die due to the more reaction. That is why you have to leave the urea fertilizer and you have to apply it later, at least 2 to 3 days of transplanting. Selection of healthy saplings. Always remember that if we use polybag seedlings, that time the seedlings will be straight, healthy, strong, disease and insect free, normal size and shape, stem straight, and without healthy looks like this figure, leaf green and normal in shape, and root quality will be normal, quantity and quality will be normal. We have to select that type of seed. Without this criteria, do not select the seedlings for transplanting. Next point is preparatory activities of uprooting saplings. When we use polybag nursery, that is different case, but when it is sometimes it is not out of we take the seedlings from the seed bed. That time the seed bed will be the make sure the seedlings will be strong, healthy, and then disease free, no diseased leaf or no insect, and extra stem and leaf should be pruned, and extra root should be pruned, and then prepare the soil just before transplantation, not before 2 3 days ago. There's hardening of the saplings by keeping it in the sun before planting, as well as in the rainfall, for tolerate the sun and rainfall. Pruning of the excess dry roots, lateral shoots and leaves as well. Planting the saplings or seedlings. So how you planting the seedlings? If we take the seed from seed bed, then we bring it and straight away put in the pit. But if it is from the polybag, then we have to cut the polybag very nicely with knife or blade, and and uh, and make sure all the soil from the polybag do not leave outside. You have to keep it with the plant and put it inside the pit as well. And then care should be taken so that soil ball remains intact. Care should be taken to keep the root system not injured. And afternoon is the best time of planting saplings. That means do not even afternoon sorry, do not do it before at the middle of the sunny day, so that should be very careful. Now start the intercultural operation. So first one is stocking the saplings. So if you have a look the figure, here is the plant and here is the white bamboo sticks. This is called stocking. When we planting the plant, that time sometimes the plant may fall down if there is any little bit wind or a sunny day or little bit rainfall. That is why put some stocking which is maybe a iron rod or maybe a bamboo stick. Bamboo stick is very cheap, and that size should be same as the plant, then that will not, maybe not flow fall down. And make sure the stalk should be inserted 30 to 40 centimeter into the soil, and sapling is to be tied at least 2 to 3 places of the stalk. If you have a look the picture, then you can observe what is happening here. Then provide irrigation, provide light irrigation with the water can if it is possible, or you can use another source for irrigation. Do not provide lots of water, just provide water after planting the seedlings or saplings, and provide in the morning and after at the afternoon by using water can. Water should be provided in such a way that soil should not be displaced from on the base of the plant. Fencing the sapling, that means after planting the seedlings, uh, sometimes fox, any other livestock, goat, or any other pest can be destroy the plant. That is why you have to protect the plant to from that pest. You can use a bamboo stick or strong post in case of stapling, woodlot or homestead forest. Fencing is to given all around the garden. If you have a look in bottom picture, there is some wooden part to protect all around the plant, all around the garden, or transplant area. You can do individual fence as well if you want, or if you afford it. Otherwise you can do as well whatever you want. You can use wood, bamboo, or wire or wall, brick wall for all round on the garden. Provide shade to the saplings. If we do not provide the shade, then sometimes heavy sunlight or heavy rainfall can damage the plant, or can sometimes the plant saplings will be die. That is why we have to protect from the sun, and we have to provide some shade, like you can use poly bag, we can use paper or any other cardboard as well. Mulching, provide water hyacinth, straw, dry leaves near the base of the plant or the root, near the soil surface of the plant to keep the soil moisture. That is called mulching. If you have a look the figure, you see some dry straw here. This is called mulching, and that we provide this mulching for keeping the soil moisture. That is called mulching. Remember, this is very important for your MCQ and CQ as well. Now the important point, two important point. One is pruning, the other one is training. So what is pruning? Pruning means removal of branches after bearing flowers and fruits of plants. And training means removal of branches generally before bearing flowers and fruits of plants. That means when a plant's stem, branches cut down on after flowering and fruits, that is called pruning. And when cut down the branches generally before bearing flowers and fruits, that is called training. And for pruning, it is necessary for producing yield and decreasing disease, but training is for only beautification. For instance, in the office, in the any other organization, sometimes you have a look, the plant is looks like a clock, looks like a gate shape, looks like a ball shape. That is called training, for looking smart and beautiful. That is why the plant is make a shape. But pruning, this is necessary for production, producing production and other insect and disease control. So it is done to control the physiological activities of plants. It is done to control the physical stature of plants, to increase flowering, fruiting and fruit quality of plants, to beautify and giving desired structure of the plants. We can do pruning in the branches, flowers, fruits, and even roots of the plants sometimes, and training only the branches of the plants. And the desired plants are stimulated for giving better yield. But in training, the size of desired plants are controlled rather than stimulate. That means only for the beautiful. Looks like the plant is beautiful. All type of pruning are not termed as training, but all type of training may be termed as pruning. It is directly related with the yield of a plant. It has no relation with the yields. This point is very very important. Sometimes in your exam you can get what is pruning, what is training. Write down the characteristics of pruning, write down the characteristics of training, write down the difference between the trainings. If you memorize this table, you can answer those type of question. Or sometimes it is the question is like that: all type of pruning are not termed as training, all type of pruning training may be termed as pruning. Because when you shape the plant, that time you prune the plant. But when you need to cut the leaf for disease purpose, that time you do not maintain the training. That is why he said all type of pruning are not termed as training, all type of pruning may be termed as pruning. This is very very important. Now another topic is dressing. So what do you mean by dressing? Dressing means application of anti-organism agents to the removal of perishable substance, including fungus in the stem, branches, and leaves of the tree. That means when sometimes the stem, branches, and leaves are attacked by fungus and make wound of that place of plant, that time provide some anti or microorganism agent, that is called dressing. And this dressing is very very important for plant, like protect from rotting the stems, branches, and leaves of the stem plant, protect the tree from dying, as well as the stem, branches, and leaves of the tree, prevent spreading the disease, wood quality become good, and increase production. So this type of benefit or importance we can get from the process of dressing. And this one is important as well. Sometimes you can get what is dressing, or sometimes you can get or write down the benefit of dressing, this type of question. So this is all about this chapter's question. So from this chapter you can get MCQ like what is the size of large tree speeds. You can answer large tree speed size is 90 centimeter to 90 centimeter and 90 centimeter. Sometimes you can get explain difference between pruning and trimming, this type of questions. And for 2 marks, 3 marks, and 4 marks. And the steps I talked about before at the beginning of this lecture, which is different steps of sapling forest plantation, that those 10-11 point is very very important, like site selection, peat preparation, fertilizer application, then seedling selection, then preparation of seedlings before planting, then planting the seedlings, then intercultural operation like stocking, then irrigation, fencing, shading, and mulching. So this chapter is very important for your or creative and MCQ as well.
Dear students, for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you. Thank you very much.